Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back. Back to the bench here. Back to actually working on the bench rather than working on the lift. Now in front of you, I've got my 41 millimeter parts here. Now I know I took this front end off of the 1966 Shovelhead, and I actually sent the legs out to have them vapor honed, and they turned out awesome. And I'm very pleased with the look of everything here. But I did find a front end that I liked better that was just a little bit longer and has 2/over tubes, and it fits what I'm doing with the motorcycle. So I decided to run that one instead. But I have been asked to assemble one of these things to show how it goes together. And I put this off and I've waited on parts and whatnot, and I still don't have all of my parts, but I've got enough to start this thing. So I'm going to put these together today and walk you through this process. I want to show you kind of how it goes, how it works. I want to be able to show you the do's and don'ts of how this actually goes together. Give you some insight on, the best practices when it comes to assembling a front end. Now this is 41 millimeter specific. Now I know each front end has its own assembly, and I will eventually assemble a 39 millimeter and a 35 millimeter because I do have a couple that need to go together, but those are going to be future videos. Today, I am working out of the Harley-Davidson service manual. This is part number 99482-84. This is for 78.5 to 84 FX and FL models. That's exactly what I have for lower legs here. The gasket kit that I'm using is a genuine James gasket kit. This is part number 45849-77. I'll get the camera moved, we'll show you the layout here, and we'll walk you through the process of putting one of these together. Working from left to right, you can see that I have my new gaskets here. Everything is laid out in its pairs to show where it all goes. I do have my fork cap, and I've got my hardware here. I do have my fork seal driver over there, my dampers, my lower legs, my tubes, my springs, and my caps. Now I know the caps are very dirty. They're not exactly the most beautiful thing in the world, but with those, they're typically covered up and you don't see them. So anyway, I'm not too concerned with that. Let's go ahead and start this project and show you kind of how we do everything. Of course, if you're looking for a refresher on how to put this together, here's a complete parts breakdown on how this all works, how these tubes are set up, what hardware is included or what should be included, and what things you should find within these legs. Here's one of the lower legs. Obviously, it's all freshly blasted, and it looks really nice. This is a vapor honing job. It does have a sealer on it, so it's in good shape. But the first thing we want to do is we want to plug this drain hole here. So the drain hole consists of one crush washer and one Allen head screw. So we'll go ahead and we'll put those together. We'll take our leg and we will start to assemble this here. It's a 3/16 Allen. I do not know the torque spec right offhand. I'll have to get that later in the video. First, we'll start off with one of our tubes. This is a stock length 41 millimeter tube. This is a 77 plus Shovelhead tube with this relief here. Later years have a collar on here that actually compresses. So we need the tube, and we need one of our damper assemblies. So this is our damper end cap, our damper spring, and then there's these bushings here. These are in good shape, so I'm not going to replace these. So what we'll do is these things need to go in this order. We'll take our tube here and we'll slide this in like this. Try to keep everything together so we don't lose that spring off there. And sometimes you have to take the spring and guide things in. And of course, on the end here, you can see the end here is tapered down, so it's a little smaller. So that's how that would assemble there. So this is sticking out. Now this cap would go in place, and that cap would be just like that. Now looking at the top of our tube here, you can see some of the spring is sticking out. This is good. We want the spring to stick out to create tension. So from here, we'll take our fork leg and we'll just slowly start to push this together till this bottoms out. And once it bottoms out, you can see the spring starting to come up. We'll push that back down. I decided to move some camera angles here because this is hard to see and it's hard to do while the camera's strapped to your chest. Now, I know that putting these caps in is way easier when you have the triple trees together and on the bike, so you've got something to push against. I know this is kind of a bad way to do it because, of course, as this is going down the tube itself, you're exposing more of the spring. So you really want to be able to hold this thing up in place. And you really want to be able to get good leverage on here to be able to push this thing down, and that's not easy. So with the tube in place here, you can see that the spring is sticking out, and there's a ton of tension here. And this is as far as the tube's going to go. I mean, you can pull the tube all the way back out, but we don't want to do that. I did stick my cap on the end, and I've got a mat on the floor. And I'm actually going to use my body weight to push down against this. I'll move the camera and kind of show you what I'm doing. So I've got my mat on the floor. I'm actually holding the tube up itself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to push down, because I'm right-handed. I'm going to push down the cap as far as I can get it. And I'm going to slowly start turning the tube with my left hand. Now, if you can, make sure to thread the cap all the way down as far as it'll go. It's hard. It's going to take you a lot of force to push this thing down because the spring, of course, has spring tension. It's keeping this damper moving so everything will move properly. Now, there's a bolt that goes in the bottom here with a crush washer that holds the leg in place. Unfortunately, I do not have those. They've been on order for a little while now. I don't have them. I think they're lost. It could be the season. I'm not sure. But we're going to assemble this thing without those. Those are what hold the two halves together. But like I said, unfortunately, I don't have a way to put it together all the way without it. So we're just going to run through how this works. Anyway, if we actually had everything together, this would be your fork tube. There's this base washer here, or I'm not sure what they call that. I guess they call it a washer. So that washer would go in next. All right, with our washer in place, now it's time to look at the seal. The seals are directional. There's a little beveled edge on the bottom. So this is the bottom, this faces down. This will go in first. The top side has a little ring on it, so that faces upward. I like to put a little bit of assembly lube on these things. I've had people tell me it's a terrible choice, that it's going to leak past it, you're going to have issues, it's going to pop out. They do have a retainer ring in these things, and I've never had an issue with it. And I'm not putting a ton of lube on here. I'm just putting enough to help this thing glide in place very nicely. Now, you got to kind of do this quickly because it will start to stick. And once it starts to stick, then you're going to have a lot of problems. Again, this is why I use just a little bit of assembly lube, not a lot, just enough to make this thing move a little easier. And with a light coat of assembly lube, what we'll do then is we'll work the seal itself down the tube. Start to push it in by hand, and a lot of it will go without a ton of work. So you can see it's out a little bit. Now I do have a seal driver, and this is a Motion Pro product. Excuse me. This is 08-0489. This is their 41 millimeter seal driver. I don't know if that'll fit over the whole. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if that fit over the top. Anyway, you're just going to take this and you're going to slowly drive the seal down. Now inside the slider, you might be able to see there's a relief right here. So that relief is actually for a retainer ring. Once you've got your seal slid down far enough, you'll put your retainer ring in. So I like to start with one corner in and then kind of start working its way around, trying to get everything in evenly. You'll just push that down until it snaps in place, which it looks like it has. There's a couple little reliefs here, here, obviously those two on the other side. You can push those down and this will snap right in place. Now that that's in place, this one is assembled. Now there is a cap on the top. You'll unthread this. And then there's a seal that goes in place here. I like to take that seal, I like to thread it in. This way it kind of goes in nice so you're not ripping it apart. And then once you have that in, you can go ahead and thread this down. Now I know I'm going to be taking this back apart because this is not done. I still have another step involved that I need to get done, but unfortunately I can't because I don't have the right parts. That's how that seal looks in there. Now I don't have that bottom bolt that goes in here. It's an Allen head with a crush washer. That's what holds that damper in place, and I don't have that. So unfortunately I cannot finish these forks right now. All right, let's walk through the process one more time. We have our tube, we have our damper assembly. So we're going to pull this bottom cap off of there, and we're going to slide our damper into our tube. Remember, there's a small end and a big end. This one's threaded. The threaded end is where this goes in. So you have your damper and your damper spring, and there's these bushings here. They're a nylon or Duralin or something like that. I'm not sure. They're in good enough shape. I'm going to keep them. This is threaded. This is what holds the lower to the tube here, and that's the part I'm missing. I'm missing that bolt. Anyway, we'll slide this in. We will use our spring to guide this all the way down. And sometimes what you need to do is stick your finger in the end here and fish this into its hole. Pushes that out. With that out, then we can take our cap here, we can set that in place. With everything set in place, we can take our lower, we can guide everything gently into place here. And again, we'll get down on the floor and we'll force this thing together. Being that this is under a ton of pressure, if you don't keep good downward force on this and you happen to check it, be mindful of that, because this thing can pop out and it can hit you in the face. And there's enough pressure there to really hurt you, possibly do some damage or put your eye out. Just one of those things you got to be cautious about. I should have been wearing safety glasses. Unfortunately, I was not. Something I didn't really think about, but should have done. Now that I have the tube together, we'll make sure to put our cap back on. We'll make sure to slide everything nicely together here. We'll put our washer in place. Again, there's a top and bottom on these. The beveled edge goes down. We'll coat this with assembly lube. All right, with our seal all lubed up and ready to go, we'll slide this down and into place. Push it in as far as we can go by hand. We'll take our seal driver, drive everything in place. With our seal driven in, we'll put our snap ring in place. And with that snapped in place, we can go ahead and finish by putting our drain plug back in. Now, I did not see a torque spec for these in the book anywhere, so I'm just going to tighten these down by hand. Now, there's a crush washer there, so it should help with things so it doesn't leak there. But you don't want to over tighten those because then they're a bear to get out. A crush washer should do all of the work. So now that I'm this far, I'm not going to fill these with oil. The main reason why I'm not going to fill them with oil is that lower sleeve that went on the damper tube. There is a bolt that goes to the bottom and a crush washer that goes on that. Now that crush washer prevents the oil from leaking past out the bottom of the forks. Since I don't have those parts, I can't put that together. I'm not ready to assemble this thing just yet. I have a set of trees that I believe I'm going to run with this. I have a bike I think I'm going to run them on. I'm not exactly sure. But for right now, I just wanted to show the resealing process and how this works. Now, I know that I did not show you the other top O-ring that goes on the absolute cap. It's just like the other one. Same with the O-ring, just like the other one. A couple of things that I had left out. This is the last piece I need to put on, so I will do that. Anyway, I hope this video helped you. I hope this was very informative, and I hope this showed you the process on how to put together some forks. I know I'm not done with these yet. I know that I need to label these as no oil, and I do have the parts on order, so I'm just waiting on those. Hopefully they show up this week yet. I doubt it. And once they do, I'll get them assembled. Anyway, friends, if you like the video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. If you have questions or comments, please drop them in that comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, hit that subscribe button. I do a lot of these little projects. I show how these things go together and how they come apart. And if you want to see them do either, this would be a good way to see them if you are subscribed. Like I said, I do have a 35mm front end I want to put together and a 39mm front end I want to put together. They're pretty close in similarities on how they go together, but I don't have all the parts yet or the need to do it. So I'm not going to put those together just yet. But if you subscribe, you'll see when those videos do come out. Anyway, friends, that's it for this one. We'll catch you next time.